ऑल इंडिया यूनियन बैंक ऑफिसर फेडरेशन का 25th ट्राइनियल जनरल काउंसिल मीटिंग जो है बेंगलुरु में 19 जनवरी को यहाँ पे रखा गया था। और यहाँ पे जो है कि रूपम रॉय जो कि जनरल सेक्रेटरी थे आईबॉक के, उन्होंने अपना एक स्पीच दिया और इस स्पीच में उन्होंने बहुत सारी बातें की। इन बातों में उन्होंने जो है कि 5 डेज बैंकिंग और जो कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन का कोड भी किया कि यहाँ पे कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन में जो हमें राइट्स दिए गए हैं कि जो कोई मिसबिहेवियर नहीं होना चाहिए, इसका कोई भी वायलेशन नहीं होना चाहिए, एक डिग्निटी मेंटेन होना चाहिए ऑफिसर्स का या वर्कमैन एम्प्लॉयज़ का जो भी हमारे इंडस्ट्री में काम कर रहे हैं। और ये जो बैंक है हमारे स्टेट में आता है और ये स्टेट्स के अंडर जो भी हमारे कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन में जो भी हमको राइट्स दिए गए हैं वो सबको फॉलो करना है। और उन्होंने ये बैंक्स को याद दिलाया कि आप भी इस स्टेट्स के अंदर आते हैं, इस कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन के अंदर आते हैं और आपको इसको फॉलो करना चाहिए। तो यहाँ पे दोस्तों 5 डेज बैंकिंग की भी बात की है, जहाँ पे उन्होंने बोला है कि किसी ने उनसे पूछा था कि 5 डेज बैंकिंग कब होने वाला है, तो उन्होंने एक मजाक में बोला कि कल मैं सोच रहा हूँ साइन कर दूँ, परसों से आपको 5 डेज बैंकिंग मिल जाए। फिर उन्होंने समझाते हुए बोला कि ये इतना आसान नहीं है और यहाँ पे जो है कि एक एग्रीमेंट साइन हुआ है और उस एग्रीमेंट को जो ऑनर नहीं कर रहे हैं तो उनको याद दिलाने के लिए इनको सड़क पे उतरना पड़ेगा। लेकिन मुझे ये नहीं समझ में आ रहा है कि इतने दिन हो गए, 1 साल हो गए साइन किए, उसके बाद भी यहाँ पे जो है कि अभी तक सड़क पे नहीं उतरे हैं। हालांकि यहाँ रूपम राय जी ने ये भी बताया कि वो कोशिश कर रहे थे स्ट्राइक करने का, लेकिन वो चाह रहे थे कि सारे जो है यूएफबीयू के मेंबर हैं वो इस स्ट्राइक में शामिल हो और सब लोग मिल के एक साथ स्ट्राइक करें ताकि इसका कुछ रिजल्ट निकल सके। और उन्होंने ये भी बताया कैसे उन्होंने यूएफबीयू के मेंबर्स को लेटर्स लिखा जिससे कि सभी लोग स्ट्राइक में शामिल हो सके। और एक कलेक्टिव एफर्ट लेने के बाद ही जब सब लोग एक साथ स्ट्राइक करेंगे तभी यहाँ पे कुछ फ्रूटफुल यहाँ पे रिजल्ट निकल के आएगा। और अब सभी लोग जो है कि यहाँ पे स्ट्राइक के लिए रेडी हो गए हैं, यूएफबीयू रेडी है। यहाँ पे मार्च में आपने सुना ही है कि स्ट्राइक होने वाला है, लेकिन देखते हैं क्या स्ट्राइक होता है या फिर यहाँ पे कोई आईबीए की तरफ से यहाँ पे आश्वासन मिल जाएगा और फिर से शायद ये स्ट्राइक पोस्टपोन हो जाए। मोस्ट प्रॉब्ली यही होता है। लेकिन फिर भी दोस्तों साइन होने के बाद भी यहाँ पे इतने दिन के बाद भी अभी तक 5 डेज बैंकिंग नहीं मिला है, तो यहाँ पे शायद इन्होंने लेट किया स्ट्राइक के लिए। तो यहाँ पे रूपम जी ने जो है कि और भी पॉइंट्स रखे हैं, जैसे कि 5 डेज बैंकिंग के अलावा यहाँ पे पीएलआई, 9th ज्वाइंट नोट, टॉक्सिक वर्क कल्चर, लोड फैक्टर, परक्विजिट्स जो कि उन्होंने बोला है कि बैंक को बॉन्ड करना चाहिए। और बहुत सारे डिपार्टमेंट्स या बहुत सारे जो सेक्टर्स हैं वो अपने कुछ ना कुछ बेनिफिट्स जो हैं अपने एम्प्लॉयज़ को देते हैं, इसलिए यहाँ बैंक को भी जो है कि अपने कुछ बेनिफिट्स जो हैं कि एम्प्लॉय को देना चाहिए। और अगर वो लैंडिंग रेट अगर वो एसबीआई का ले रहे हैं तो एटलीस्ट उनको जो कॉर्पोरेट सेक्टर पे जो 4% पे जो लोन दिया जा रहा है उस रेट पे जो है कि बैंक एम्प्लॉयज़ का कंसिडर करना चाहिए। अगर उस पर कंसिडर करते हैं तो उन्होंने ये भी बोला है कि शायद परक्विजिट टैक्स आए ना एम्प्लॉयज़ को। इसके बाद उन्होंने रेगुलेटेड वर्किंग आवर्स की बात की, जहाँ पे उन्होंने बताया है कि अभी जो रेगुलेटेड वर्किंग आवर्स आपका जो है आईबीए ने खुद ही बता दिया कि 8 घंटे का आपका काम है, 8 घंटे के बियॉन्ड जो है मैनेजमेंट को आपको नहीं बुलाना चाहिए। लेकिन हकीकत भी ये है कि यहाँ पे सभी लोग 8 घंटे से ज़्यादा काम कर रहे हैं, इवन 10 घंटे, 11-12 घंटे तक भी काम कर रहे हैं। और यहाँ पे रूपम जी ने एक एडिक्वेट जो है कि अमाउंट ऑफ रिक्रूटमेंट ऑफ द स्टाफ की बात की है, क्योंकि इन्होंने कहा है कि यहाँ पे जो बैंक एम्प्लॉयज़ की बहुत शॉर्टेज है, किसी भी ब्रांच में जो है कि दफ्तरी नहीं है, हार्डली ही कहीं देखने को मिलता है। और सिक्योरिटी कंसर्न की भी यहाँ बात की है, जो बैंक एम्प्लॉयज़ पे यहाँ पे हमले हो रहे हैं इसके लिए भी इन्होंने बोला है। और ये सब रिक्रूटमेंट होगा क्योंकि सिक्योरिटी यहाँ पे बैंक में नहीं है, कोई भी गार्ड नहीं रहता है बैंक में, तो ओपन है यहाँ पे, कोई किसी पे भी जाके बैंक के एम्प्लॉयज़ पे हमला कर सकता है इजीली। और एक इम्पॉर्टेंट जो सबसे बात मुझे लगी, रूपम जी ने जो बोला कि एनपीएस से ओपीएस में जाने के लिए वो डिमांड करेंगे और उसके लिए भी वो स्ट्राइक करेंगे और सड़क पे उतरेंगे कि एनपीएस को जो है हटा के ओपीएस लाया जाए। उन्होंने यूपीएस बोला कि गवर्नमेंट लेके आई है, लेकिन शायद वो 15 मिनट का भी बैकअप नहीं देगी। इसको मजाक में लेते हुए उन्होंने बोला है कि ओपीएस की डिमांड करेंगे कि सभी को ओपीएस मिले, क्योंकि यहाँ पे कोई भी कंफर्मिटी नहीं है कि रिटायरमेंट के बाद आपको एनपीएस में कितना आपको पेंशन मिलेगा। तो यहाँ पे इन्होंने इन सारे मेजर फैक्टर्स की बात की है। इसके बाद आप इस वीडियो में जो है कि रूपम राय जी का जो है स्पीच देखेंगे, और मैंने यहाँ पे उनका पूरा स्पीच कट करके डाला है और ये यूट्यूब पे लाइव था और आईबॉक के जो चैनल पे है उस पे यहाँ पे जो है कि इसको टेलीकास्ट किया गया था। तो आप भी इस स्पीच को पूरा सुनिए, कुछ आपको भी जानने को मिलेगा। और अगर आपको कुछ भी लगता है तो आप जरूर कमेंट करके बताइएगा।
I hope your leadership has explained in details the joint note, 9 joint note, the benefits that has come to all the officers and the employees. Few points which I would like to bring to your kind notice. We have seen the earlier wage negotiation where we have some troubled times, many agitations we have seen, many strikes, many difference of opinion within the United Forum of Bank Union, with the constituents. And after every wage negotiation, there were either criticism or appreciation, and the criticism were more. But honestly, when I see the social media as a whole, and when I meet the member, except for one thing, the employees and officers, they were more happy with the wage negotiation. And one thing I know that is in your heart, and everyone is, when they are looking at me or with Comrade Shankar or with Comrade Bala, you are asking only one thing: 5-day kab aayega? I know, except this. You are more or less with the wage negotiation, you are happy. Yesterday, one comrade from your organization, he asked me, he got me in the lift, कि सर रूपम दा एक बात पूछूं, हम लोग पूछिए 5-day कब आ रहा है? मैं बोला मुझे अभी ऑर्डर आया है कि मैं कल ही साइन कर दूं और परसों से आपका 5-day लागू हो जाएगा. Because you have to understand, we have signed an agreement, the workmen and the officers, and if the agreement is not honored, again we have to make them realize the responsibility of a state, this time the government, and if our right that is protected by the constitution and the obligation of the state is not given, हमें सड़क पे उतरना होगा और हम उसके लिए उतर रहे हैं. और I am very happy that all our unions, they have come together and we are going for a strike, and not only for a 5-day banking, because a 5-day banking शायद कॉमरेड शंकर और उनके लोगों के लिए बहुत ही आरामदायक हो, शनिवार रविवार को ऑफिस में आए, बट 5-day बैंकिंग आने के बाद हमारे आगे और भी स्ट्रगल होंगे कि ऑन हॉलीडेज, when our officers are called and forced to work on holidays, that also should be taken care of. So recruitment is also a very important thing which we have to take up. This agenda also we have taken up in our strike. Now coming back to the wage negotiation, I am very thankful that in the United Forum of the Bank Unions, we all have come together and we were all for the common cause, and I am thankful to Comrade Bandlesh, Comrade C.H. Venkatachalam and other constituents of the United Forum of the Bank Unions, where in the meeting in the month of December in 2022, my first meeting in the UFBU as an AIBOC General Secretary, when they said, when Comrade Bala was also there alongside, that mandate cannot be an issue of the officers. Mandate should be the issue of the United Forum of the Bank Unions. That is the statement given by Comrade C.H. Venkatachalam. And from there we have not looked back. There was never an issue which was of the officers, or there was never an issue which was for the workmen. And today the unity, that the way the two organizations are coming together in Union Bank, I am thankful to All India Bank Employees Association. The foundation stone was laid in that UFBU meeting when the statement was given from the workmen that it cannot be an issue of the officer, and I am very thankful that today we are moving together, because we have to understand the challenge today is not against me or you. The challenge is collective, the challenge is the public sector, the challenge is and you as the trade unions in your bank, or be part of the AIBOC or All India or United Forum of Bank Unions. We are the soldiers for these 8 lakh employees and the officers that are in the banking sector. Their interests we have to take care, and for that we have to come together. There cannot be any color, red, green, saffron or whatever. The color is only one, where the blood and sweat is measured of our employees and officers with which they have built this bank. That employees and officers and the family members should be protected. Now, the mandate was also very fractured mandate. This time also the management, they gave up to scale 3. And without a strike, without going for agitation, how we got the mandate even up to scale 8. Subsequently, between the associations and the management, we negotiated, okay, up to 7 we'll go ahead. How it has come? Because many things has not come to the fore, and you sometimes think, or memberships sometimes think, that it is the magnanimity of the management that they have given the mandate up to the scale 7 or up to the scale 8. We have to do few things which draws the attention of the government, that why these two big unions, AIBOC and AIBEA, they are coming together. And it is the interest for all of you that we have come together, because we understand there cannot be any ego. A leader cannot have an ego. A leader's ego is the safety, security and the well-being of his member. And beyond that, a leader cannot have an ego. And for that matter, both the organization, we have come together. We have come together for you who are representing and taking care of all our employees and officers. And take it from me, in the days to come, the struggle will be more, and our coming together will be more required, not only for us, for our former our employees in the offices for their benefit and the future generation that is going to serve this bank and keep the public sector space and increase its market share. Now, during the wage negotiation, many people questioned that we got a load of 3%. In the social media, many things comes up. And because many things cannot be explained over Facebook, Twitter, or by issuing a circular. So that 3% of load, let me remind to all of you, that load where it is required, the load is required, because otherwise the 17% what you have got, that has been distributed in the pay slip. It may be a pay component or it has made as a special allowance where you don't have any superannuation benefit. For that matter, we want more load in our pay component, but we must understand that pay component where the 50% of last drawn pay will be the pension. But today we have around 65% of our employees and officers who are under the new pension scheme or national pension scheme, and 35% of them are under the old pension scheme. And by the next wage negotiation, 82% of our employees and officers, they will be under the national pension scheme, and 18% of the employees and officers will be under the old pension scheme. Although as a union, we are confident that all our employees and officers who are under the NPS, they will be in the OPS. That is our demand, and we are going to accomplish this in the days to come. Because already the government of India, they have come up with a UPS. पहले तो अंधेरा था, because हम न्यू पेंशन स्कीम को हम नो पेंशन स्कीम बोलते थे कि उसमें कितना बेनिफिट आएगा हमें मालूम नहीं, इसलिए हम उसे कहते थे इस नो पेंशन स्कीम. पहले अंधेरा था, अब सरकार ने एक यूपीएस लेके आया है, शायद वो 15 मिनट का बैकअप दे दे, लेकिन हमें वो यूपीएस भी मंजूर नहीं है. हम ओल्ड पेंशन स्कीम चाहते हैं सबके लिए, उसके लिए हम फाइट करेंगे, अब सड़कों पे उतरेंगे. बिकॉज एक बात ये जनता को, देश के जनता को और सरकार को जानना जरूरी है कि हम अगर एक पैसा भी लेते हैं वो अपने कमाई से लेते हैं. हमारे पैसे के वही बाहर से टैक्स पेयर मनी से हम अपना सैलरी नहीं लेते हैं. इसीलिए अगर हम हमारे बैंकिंग सेक्टर अगर हमें न्यू पेंशन स्कीम दे सकती है तो इस सरकार बीच में ना आए, और ओल्ड पेंशन स्कीम दे सकती है तो ओल्ड पेंशन स्कीम को लागू किया जाए और हमारा संग्राम आगे चलेगा ऑन द ओल्ड पेंशन स्कीम. सो कमिंग बैक टू द लोड, वी हैव गॉट 3% लोड, but in effect we got 3.2% load because of the calculation you can see. And when the DA is 30.38% of DA is merged on that, it became 4%. Along with that, you have got in the officers cadre, you have gotten CIB increment, or those who have reached this stagnation, they have gotten PQPU. It has an impact of load in your pay component somewhere around 3%. And when the DA is merged, it will be somewhere near to 4%. In addition to that, up to scale 3, you have got 2 stagnation increment, and from scale 4 to scale 7, our officers have got 3 stagnation increment, somewhere near to 4%. The officers cadre, you have gotten CIB increment, or those who have reached this stagnation, they have gotten PQPU. It has an impact of load in your pay component, somewhere around 3%. And when the DA is merged, it will be somewhere near to 4%. In addition to that, up to scale 3, you have got 2 stagnation increment, and from scale 4 to scale 7, our officers have got 3 stagnation increment. That has also an impact of from 8 to 10% of the load on that. If you add it up, our officers on an average, they have got 16 to 18% of the load, which during superannuation, those who are in the senior scale, they will understand. And load is required so that your pension is, superannuation benefit is sufficient enough. So in that way, the load component was also not so less. People compare that in LICI, we get this kind of a load. We compare with so many organizations, this comparison is there. We must understand the banking sector is quite different from the insurance sector. In our banking sector, we must appreciate that an employee who has joined as a clerk somewhere in 2009, I have seen in my bank, in State Bank of India, they have become chief manager by 2020. The salary they were drawing in 2009, somewhere around 8,000 something, by 2020, it has become 2 lakh rupees. The same thing will not happen in LICI, that someone joining as a clerk in 2009, and he will reach the equivalent scale of scale 4 in LICI by 10 or 12 years. So the migration of scale is so huge that the wage bill goes up in the banking sector. That also we should take into account. So we can compare between the comparables. We cannot compare with the other sector. This is an area where this is a thought that we should seriously ponder, that it is that what kind of a benefit or the salary hike over a period of time on promotion in the public sector bank that is available. And I'm very happy that this time, apart from the salary revision, there are many anomalies in the fitment that has been taken care of in our bank. Earlier, a clerk from being promoted to clerical cadre, the officers cadre, if they are drawing 65,000 basic pay in the clerical cadre, on promotion to the officers cadre in scale 1, there's a basic pay used to come down to 63,000. And the management said it is the regulation 5B that comes into effect. And I had to put it up before the management through a presentation. That what is regulation 5B? The regulation 5B says that if an employee is under suspension, 1, or a major penalty is drawn, proceeding is drawn against the employee, or number 3, if there is an adverse remark against the employee which has been conveyed to the employee, then regulation 5B comes into effect. I told the management from the All India Bank Officers Confederation that if these 3 conditions are fulfilled, whether you are going to promote an employee from clerical cadre to the officers cadre, or from officers from one scale to the another, the answer is no. And in such cases, why it comes between a fitment formula. So this was taken into account. And then I also requested that every wage negotiation in 1992, when we signed the wage negotiation in 95, which was effective 92, the fitment formula came in 7. 97 we signed in 2000, the fitment formula came in 2002. 2 we signed in 5, the fitment formula came in 2007. 7 we signed in 10, it came in 12, the fitment formula. 12 we signed the negotiation 15, it came in 17. 17 we signed in 20, the wage negotiation, the fitment formula came in 22. I am very happy that 22 wage negotiation we signed in 24 and fitment formula came in 24 itself. So that was also my demand, that there should not be, the thing should be made simple, and the fitment formula has come. I am very happy that this wage negotiation has also given the officers what? Regulated working hour. Do you agree? You don't agree, right? Let me explain to you. You have half-day CL, like our comrade Shankar, he has got for his member, so their union. Now the officers, we also have a half-day CL. As you know, our service condition says that we should be available to the bank 24/7. So our half-day in effect would have been 12 hours. So if I am the passing officer in a branch, and Comrade Bala is the branch manager, I will put up an application, sir, today I will not come from 10 a.m. to 10 p.m. in the night. You kindly deduct half day. And at 10 p.m. I will come in, sir, shutter to band tha, main ghus nahi paya andar. Ye ho sakta hai kya? So when your half day will be decided as a 4 hours or 3.5 hours, whatever it may be, your full day is now defined as 8 hours. That also you should kindly take note of it. So in the days to come, the officers also have a regulated working hour, but it is not like that, because as an officer I have a responsibility as a branch manager. I will leave the branch and come. But somewhere we have also brought a right that beyond 8 hours, if you are calling us, then you should also take note of that. That also you should take into account. For the women, our comrades, so many benefits. Even the IVF treatment is considered under maternity leave. I am very happy the wage negotiation signed on the International Women's Day. And menstrual leave, that we had been so long demanding, this has also taken shape in the form that all women employees, they will be allowed to take 1 day sick leave without production of any medical certificate. So many things in the wage negotiation, and there are around 60-70 benefits. I don't want to go deep into those benefits. But these benefits, many of our retired people, senior comrades, our leaders, they say, Rupam, this is the best wage negotiation. And kudos to your leadership. Let me tell you very frankly and honestly, there was nothing from my side as a leader. It was only because of the unity between the unions, that the 3 major unions, which made us clinch this kind of a wage negotiation. There is nothing I take away from here. It is because of the unity that has given up so much of things. Without a single day strike, that when Comrade Sinath, he used to go and say, Dada, ye nahi hai, ye galat karo, this, that. He will always question me. Comrade Bala was there in the wage. Comrade Nilesh Pawar from this one, Bank of India, these people are from State Bank, so many people were there. And in the calculation, and then when they see the calculation, sometimes we said, okay, they also get satisfied. So it was a very team game from all of us across the country that we have worked, because earlier the thing was, people from State Bank of India, they used to, and somewhere in Bangalore, Comrade Muthuswamy used to help. But this time I tried to see that it is an AIBOC affair. From all the banks, we try to see that people come and they join. Nothing is hidden, everything was made transparent, and we were very frankly and openly sharing with Comrade CHB, Comrade Bandlis, they were sharing with us, which was not there earlier. Even the IBA was saying, no, ye aapko nahi dikha sakte this, but hum log apne andar mein we are sharing this thing, and because it is ultimately for you. I'm so happy that all of us, that trust was built, and with that we have concluded the process. There were many things which we would have achieved more. And because you have to understand that things were going very nicely, and suddenly it was the election result somewhere on 3rd of December, the state results, they came out, and the party in power, they done exceedingly well, and then the next Lok Sabha result was about to be declared. And somewhere I feel the priority that was there to finish it up, they thought that it may be after the election is over. From the United Forum of the Bank Unions, from the AIBOC, we said, no, let us wait, and after the election we sign the agreement. And we wait for it because we wanted the 5-day banking should come with that. But on that fine day, on 7th of December, when the AIBEA gave an offer that 7,68,000 pensioners, for them also we are trying to do something. There is something you just cannot say no, and you come out of the wage negotiation, because today whatever we are enjoying here, we are having such a grand program here, and back whatever benefits we have, it is because of all our former, our employees and the officers, those who have worked and built this bank, that benefits today we are today enjoying. And we must work for them, because in future our focus should be more on the officers and the employees who are under the NPS. As I said, by the next wage negotiation, 82% of the employees will be under NPS. So we must take care of the pension updation also for the retirees. So some improvements we have made. Ex gratia, I know that ex gratia is not the solution for the updation of the pension. That's why we have written from the United Forum of Bank Unions without any prejudice to our demand of the updation, because we wanted to know or crystallize that what is the total cost of that updation. That's why we wanted something to be given so that we get the exact figure. So we are very happy that this is also around 7,68,000 pensioners and their family members. They have also got some benefit. So with that, we have signed the wage negotiation. So during the wage negotiation, as I said, we had been transparently sharing so many things with each other, and there was nothing hidden in between. That was also cause of concern for many people. But at the end of the day, unity wins, and we are happy. Now, comrade, I know what are the questions in your mind. दिमाग में क्या है आपके कि हमें 5 दिन कब मिलेगा? आपके दिमाग में है कि हमें how we can have a happy or non-toxic work environment. How we feel that there is a transparency in this system when you work in the bank. You sometimes feel that things are not transparent. Down the line, your membership may ask you many questions on many things which you may not answer. So on the 5-day banking, as I said, we are going on agitation because we have waited. Last time also in 2015, when the unions and the association, they have signed an agreement. 5-day banking was implemented within, I think, around September in 2015. This time we also expected that it will be implemented, but we are now seeing no signs from the side of the government, no positive signal. We tried our best. We have approached different stakeholders in the process, and now we have decided that we will go on agitation. The All India Bank Officers Confederation on the 12th of November, it has decided that it will go on agitation. But we wanted the other unions of the UFBU, they should come together. We had been in constant touch with them. We have written letter to them, and I'm very happy that after I took a decision on this strike call, all the unions, they are coming together. The first, number one, is that we want adequate recruitment in the public sector banks. Because we must understand today, we have seen, if you see from the officers' context, there is hardly any messenger in the branches. And our officers, they are doing the duty of the messengers. They are carrying the vouchers from one counter to another, which hurts the dignity of an officer. That should not be allowed in the banking system. We should have the messenger. And where we have employed outsource and kind of a risk we are exposed to, and so many frauds happening, and ultimately it is the officer who is victimized because of so many cases, that charges that is happening, and for that we are not responsible. So recruitment should be adequate. We must understand that in a branch, when a branch manager and a clerk is there, and in the absence of a messenger or a guard, the branch manager cannot tell the clerk to raise the shutter. It is the branch manager who will raise the shutter. So in that way, his dignity is also hurt. So adequate recruitment should be done. The Khandelwal Committee recommendation says that initially, earlier we had 1:3 ratio in the ratio of officer is to clerk. And because of the recommendation that today, in many banks, including your bank, I am not sure, maybe the clerk to officer ratio will be the clerk, maybe 50% of the total number of officers. So, and the officer, he is an officer, okay, he has to work for the bank. And it says they are the supervisory cadre. Now you tell me who they will supervise. Whether they are left to supervise the outsourced employees. So the adequate manpower is the requirement. I'm very thankful to State Bank of India for that kind of a recruitment that it has come up with. At least in State Bank of India, we have a 1:1 ratio. And in State Bank of India, I'm also thankful that in all the other banks, they should also start, that they are seriously trying to see that there is no toxic culture in the bank. And they are continuously in dialogue with the association, the unions, to find out the ways and means so that our bank becomes a happy place to work in. And in that way, dialogue is there, and in all the banks, the dialogue should be there. Next is, the process should be transparent. And so many directives have come from the DFS. Comrade Shankar has talked about few things. But I want to tell you one very dangerous thing that has come. The PLI that has come, many of our comrades, they feel it should be brought down from scale 1. It should be from scale 1 to all the scale up to scale 7, because EDs they were getting earlier also, MDs. Now from our workmen employees, they may think that it should be for the clerical staff also. I feel the incentive should be for all, but not the incentive that has been advised by the DFS. If you have seen the circular, kindly revisit the circular again. There they say 80% of the total workforce in that particular grade will only be getting incentive. 20% of them you have to be graded as a 0. They will not get incentive. They are putting a cap. And you have to see the another instruction that has come from the DFS, which says to retire employees in the officer after attaining an age on public interest. You have seen that circular also, that after attaining 55 or 58, and in some case 50, they have been quoting, which I feel is wrongly quoted. Anyway, at an age, which is part of our service, DFS is continuously asking for the data from the public sector bank. And in maybe many of the banks, the data may be nil reporting. Now in future, they will not ask for the data. They say that 20% of the people who have not qualified for the incentive, that means they are not performing. So there is a possibility that 20% of the people, out of them, the number that has attained that particular age, they may not be continued in the bank. And within 5 years' time, you will find that 100% of your colleagues, they are not in the system. If someone feels that today I am the blue-eyed boy of the management, it is for a very limited period. If someone feels today I am very efficient, and I am the only efficient person here, I will always be efficient. We have seen all our senior people, be it in the management or in the association, they know that every human being, they have a capacity to perform, and there will be ups and downs, not only in the bank, but in his personal life, with his health also. And collectively we grow. That's why the unions and association had been advocating for the incentive based on the performance of the bank. It should be given to all the employees. So that PLI, and in conjunction with the extension, that circular, that the retiring bank officers and the employees on public interest should be seen in conjunction. Then only you will understand that this is not good for the employees. If it's extended to 100% of the employees, if the bank is performing and 100% of the employees are getting the incentive in whatever form, maybe a different scale, someone is getting 70% in some banks are giving 50%, some banks are giving 60% based on the performance of the bank. We are okay with that kind of a PLI which is extended to all the employees, but we are totally against of the PLI where a percentage of the employees, the DFS is instructing that they should be excluded, because we must understand that for any process for any process which infringes, for any process in the bank which infringes your right to life, because if you are forcefully retired, your salary, your income will come down because of the pension, where you have more obligations to meet in the coming days. It is impacting your right to decent living. And right to life is within the meaning of Article 21 of the Constitution. Right to decent living also falls within the meaning of right to life. A bank or a government cannot infringe to my right to life by just issuing a circular, forcibly saying 20% will be non-performer, and then you say don't extend. Your PLI mechanism has to be scientific, because in a 100-meter race, there is every possibility that all of us may come first, scientifically. Scientifically, you cannot say that only 30% will come first. हमें याद आता है, हम कभी वीडियो देखते हैं कि अफगानिस्तान के एक खिलाड़ी दौड़ रहे हैं और सब दौड़ रहे थे, बंदूक से सबको गोली करके लास्ट में बंदूक लेके बोला था कि मैं फर्स्ट हूँ. ऐसा ही आपका सर्कुलर जो आया है, उसमें बोला जा रहा है कि only few numbers will be toppers and the rest of the things people will be taken to task. We are also putting up all the residual issues with the AIBEA discussion, and also the perquisite issue which we have been discussing in the AIBOC. I saw the AIBEA circular, they are also pushing for the perquisite issue. We are also exploring that the perquisite tax should be borne by the bank. We have requested different management and we will be also exploring the legal recourse to that. And we had been telling, अगर perquisite लगाना है, अगर आप public rate पे perquisite लगा रहे हो, तो kindly take the public rate at which the corporates are given loan. हम जो big corporates है, जो Ambani's, Adani's and Tata's and Birla's, उनको आप 4% पे जो इंटरेस्ट पे लोन दे रहे हो, उस रेट पे हमें लगाओ तो हमें आएगा ही नहीं. और आप देखोगे different organization, if you are working in the ONGC or in the Oil India or in the different sector, in the railway you are given so many free passes. If you are working in the Oil India, you are given so many liters of petrol and diesel free. You are working in the ONGC, so many units of gas free. You are working with the organization Air India, you are getting some facilities. Here in the banking system, we are working with the deposit advances. हमें कुछ interest rate कम दिया जा रहा है, वो भी rate, हालांकि हमारा interest rate simple है, उनका compound है, फिर भी our interest rate is
எஸ் பக்கத்து பக்கத்துல உட்கார்ந்திருக்க போறோம்.
சான்ஸே இல்ல, நீ பயங்கரமா கொரட்டை விடுவ.
simple है, उनका compound है, फिर भी our interest rate is more than the interest rate that is levied to many corporates. And after that write off, employees के एक भी account write off आप दिखा दो, even जो मर जाते हैं उनका भी इंश्योरेंस से हम कवरेज करते हैं. There is no write off and 100% it is secured. वहाँ पे भी अगर perquisite tax सरकार को देना पड़े, I would like to say that, request all the management to absorb it, because it is the fruit. We are taking the fruit that our organization where we are working from there, the business that we are doing, that particular thing which is given to the another sector as a benefit to their employees, on that we should not be taxed. और बाकी सारे मुद्दे जितने भी है, attack on the bankers, on this we are going to seriously take up all this agenda that we have put up. And we also like to see that the public sector bank, they are allowed to work independently. ऐसे कोई draconian circular जो है PLI और extension नहीं देने का, लोगों को compulsory retirement का, ऐसा interference by the DFS, we the unions and the association are not going to accept. And we are going for an all-out agitation on this, including 5-day banking. I am sure that with your collective support, the strike will be successful, and the government will understand the requirement, and the management will also ensure that there are right kind of a behavior with the employees and the officers, and also the unions are heard, and bilateralism, it prevails in the banking industry. I thank to the organizers for inviting me. And before I wind up, because this is the last triennial conference for my elder brother, my president and the General Secretary All India Union Bank Officers Federation, just I want to tell one line, my experience: transparency, peace, unconditional love and support. 3 चीज which I got. And ऐसा है ना कि वो बहुत अलग पीस है. कभी sometimes I think अरे हमने प्रेसिडेंट को बोला नहीं ये बात. I think so many things and I have talked with someone. I call him, दादा ये भूल गया है, कोई बात नहीं, तुम ठीक किया ना, चलो आगे बढ़ो. So that kind of an comfort. And but his observation, sometimes I think I am the right person, I am doing something, अरे तुम गलत है, but in public नहीं, अकेले बुला के मुझे डाटा भी है. He shouted on me, no, you are wrong. Okay दादा, done. So that within the room में मुझे जो करना था किया, and in that way whatever today I am, I owe a lot to him. वो बहुत उन्होंने बहुत किया मेरे लिए. And सबसे बाकी वो कोर टू कोर ईमानदार आदमी है, बहुत ट्रांसपेरेंट है. हम बोलते हैं स्पोर्ट्समैन स्पिरिट, सच में एज ए स्पोर्ट्समैन you have shown. I am so thankful for his support. And we sometimes hear कि आप लोगों को DFS से भी या अपने बैंक मैनेजमेंट से भी कुछ प्रॉब्लम डिफरेंट सेक्टर में बाकी यूनियन से आप लोगों को होता है इन द ऑफिसर ऑर्गेनाइजेशन. AIBOC will stand with you. कुछ नहीं कर सकता आपको. The यूनाइटेड यूनियन बैंक में जैसे आप लोग एक साथ हो, आप लोग एक साथ रहोगे और आप लोगों को कोई कुछ बाका भी नहीं कर सकता है. पूरा इंडस्ट्री में हम स्ट्राइक कर देंगे, आपके ऊपर कोई भी उंगली उठा के देखे. दिस इज माय एश्योरेंस. थैंक यू सो मच.